Hi, everybody. These are our directions for following Jack in case you weren't with us on this day. And this is really an extension of what we did on graphing a trip. When we rolled the ball down the track in the classroom, we made a mark with a Lego every 2 seconds. And we found that the Legos kind of went like this. We had our starting point, we had our first 2 seconds. The Lego went from the starting point to about here, and then the next 2 seconds, it didn't go quite as far. And then we had another one really close to it. And then it started to, and then the next one was right about here and here. And then all of a sudden they started to get closer again. And we found that these data points could kind of tell us the speed of the trip at various times, because in all of these were 2 seconds apart. And so in this first section, during those 2 sections, it went from here to here. And the next 2 seconds, it had to have been slowing down because it didn't go as far. It only went that distance. The third 2 seconds, it almost stopped. We had very little distance between them. And then the distance got a little bit bigger and bigger, showing it was speeding up again because that distance isn't as big as this distance. And then all of a sudden you can see them start getting closer together. So we saw that it was slowing down. But the point is the time was consistent of 2 seconds. Following Jack is going to be much the same thing. I think you'll find it easier. This is a dripping ice cream cone that's kind of magic because it drips at certain time increments. It doesn't say what it is, but you can make it whatever you want. You can say it's 2 seconds apart, and you can see it 2 seconds apart. We have these that are really close together, and that shows something that's moving very in a certain way. You'll have to decide. And then you can see the distance of these gets a little bigger and a little bigger into here. And so it's going to ask you on here just to choose what you think is the best description of that trip. Real simple. And on the backside, it's going to do a little bit of graph interpretation, which is once you find out which one of these best describes the trip, on this side, you're going to say, well, which of these four graphs actually graphs that trip that is shown right here. And so you've got a little bit more interpreting of graphs in terms of which one of these graphs best explains that. And all these graphs, time is on X and distance is on Y. Okay. And that's it for following Jack. So have fun computing that. This should be a very short, quick one.